Hey guys, this is Miss Dowd, and I'm doing a video walkthrough for your assignment this week called The Case of the Missing Donuts, which is an inferencing activity. So you, in essence, get to be a detective this week and try to use your inferencing and text evidence skills to find out who a thief is at Abel. Now, according to your work here, as you can see on the screen, all of you have been made a copy of the case files. This is a crime. You have an entire huge box of donuts that has gone missing that Miss Leggett brought in for her students. As you can see, the first paragraph says task. Oh no, there's been a terrible crime committed. A bunch of donuts that were meant for a class have gone missing. The police need your help to solve the crime. They've compiled all the information for you to determine who the guilty party is. As you read, you need to use the information provided to solve the crime. So you're going to need to make inferences about the evidence that you've been given and all the documents that have been provided to you to try to figure out who the donut thief is. Remember, an evidence is when you draw a conclusion based on the knowledge that you know and the text evidence that you have, and then you put them together and you're able to make an inference, which is a conclusion. So you have to make sure you read over all the documents that you've been given. If you skip reading them, you might miss a valuable clue, and then you may not be able to figure out who the thief is. So, step one, you're going to need to read all the documents. Make sure you read it all. Step two, take notes on what you're thinking. If you're finding out that one of the suspects, there's no way that they could have stolen, make a note of that. That's a good inference. Step three, you're going to need to write out a report. All detectives have to write out a report when they're done with their work and investigations, stating who the criminal is, what they did, and why you know you're correct. So let me show you a little bit through here. I just went over these 3 steps. Now, the first document that you have is your police report. So as you can see, Miss Leggett is the person who is reporting the donuts as stolen. She gives you a description of the crime, so make sure you read that very carefully. Now, document 2, this was the note that was left at your crime scene, okay? Dear Miss Leggett, I'm sorry I had to take your donuts. They were just too good to pass up, and they were delicious. I promise I'll pay you back. Maybe, haha. You'll never catch me, I'm sure of it. Thanks again, Y. Now, don't jump to conclusions because there's a lot of teachers who have a Y in their name. So, next, you have document 3, which is your suspect list. So you have 4 suspects in this crime. So your first suspect 1, is Miss Crosby, okay? Suspect 2, Miss Schwartz. Suspect 3, Mrs. Parada. And suspect 4, Miss Leggett herself. Could she be lying and set up this whole crime? You never know. So you're going to need to read through the suspect list. And again, if you're thinking you might know who solved the crime, then you take some notes about it. So right here, document 4 is your witness list. There were 4 witnesses to the crime. You're going to need to read their statements for clues. Witness number 1 is Mr. Dennis, our custodian. Witness number 2, Miss Leggett herself. That's her statement. Witness 3, Miss Ryan. And witness 4, Mr. Fournier. So read their statements. You might find some valuable clues. Document 5, you've been provided with a classroom map of Miss Leggett's room because that's where the crime took place. Make sure you're paying close attention and you read through the map. Now here, when I was telling you take notes, this is the great place for you to do that. If you are deciding, oh, there's no way that this could be Miss Schwartz, there's just no way, you would write your inference here. If you're like, okay, no way can it be Miss Schwartz. And then why? How do you know? Well, you double click, remember to type in your box. I think she didn't take the donuts because, and then you move on. Fill out your sentence, move on. So make 3 little inferences here. This is where you take notes, okay? Again, make sure you double click to activate the text box. You can't just do it once, it won't work. All right, so here's your suspect inferencing chart. You have all 4 suspects here, Miss Crosby, Miss Schwartz, Miss Leggett, Miss Prada, you need to make inferences about each subject. These are basically clues or backup for your inference. If you think there's no way that it was Miss Schwartz, like I said, maybe, I don't know, just an example, then you'll need to give me 3 reasons why here that you know it's not Miss Schwartz. Use text evidence. What did she say? What did she do? What do you know about this? Okay. Remember, inferencing is when you take what you know, your knowledge, and you put it with text evidence to draw a conclusion. Okay. Finally, as I said, all detectives have to write up their work. So when a case has been solved, detectives have to sit down and they have to write up a case file review. And this is where they basically state who did the crime, why, what they feel was the motive. Be creative, okay? Include some text evidence as proof or backup to your inferencing, okay? Now, when you are done, also, you probably should have watched these 2 videos, as the directions said. Make sure you watch those before you begin the lesson. Um, you need to you don't need to worry about uploading anything for this week because your work will have your name here and it will automatically save as you're working because it's a Google Slides document. So all you'll need to do is when you're completely finished, you've done your report, everything's filled out, then you'll just click turn in right here on this blue button and you'll be done. So I hope that this helped you. I hope that you are able to solve the crime. And I can't wait to see if you guys actually figure it out. Hope you're doing well.